Sorry, Auntie. Yes. You don't expect to see me there again, like your father and that woman here.
You haven't started already. I tell you, if you're going to carry on like this, I think we're going to be glad of going back tomorrow.
She makes a lovely cup of tea.
Pour that fire out, will you? And he likes it strong. Now then, you two, we've just been talking, Ada and me, and we don't see any reason why we should dash off tomorrow.
Yes. All the things we might as well stop for walk. And if you're like many people, there's also making you less tired. And with our walking, you can say goodbye to itchy legs and painful walks. Find out more at Bainbridge.com or call 0333 060 1601. Bain Centre. Walk out happy. Poor pet. Just shows you never know what's going to happen. That's why I'm looking into smart family. You can get the benefit of my class. 730 pounds to Entreperneur, all done over the phone for instant peace of mind and protection for your family. We know family life doesn't wait, so as part of our Smart Family Guarantee, your loved ones are protected from day one. Plus, you'll also get your choice of £125 gift card.
To get a free quote today, call our specialist UKT or kids don't want to talk about our funerals. They say they'll worry about it at the time.
But that's the thing. We don't want them to worry, not about funeral arrangements.
Or funeral costs.
So we bought Pure Cremation Funeral Plan.
Such a relief.
Our funerals, our way, guaranteed. Pure Cremation takes care of everything and to the highest standards. They have crematoria and more 5-star reviews from families than anyone else.
And each plan has saved us over £2,000. I mean, compared to a traditional funeral.
But the peace of mind, knowing we've done the right thing by our kids, is priceless.
And Pure Cremation have a great offer too.
So there's more money for the kids and more for a proper send-off. Job done, worry gone. For your free quote, search Pure Cremation online or call us free plan and you'll get £100 off.
With retirement round the corner, I want to spend more time with my family and less time worrying about the numbers. Which reminds me,
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance.
hi, I'd like a quick quote.
No problem. We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted. Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a cash payout up to £10,000 when you pass away.
And that money could help with funeral costs or even as a gift for the grandkids. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services. You've got them all.
Amazing.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free quote today, call our UK team on 0800 977 5808 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
Good morning, love. Oh, you didn't drink the tea, you damn me.
Well, you know what I'm actually in bed.
It was a nice thought.
No, it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
You know your father always likes to get up early.
Yeah, well, I don't. Not on a Sunday, anyway. We're only at a couple.
They've gone out for a walk to the cemetery.
Well, here we are, Ada. This is my room.
It's better than nice up here, Walter. She's got a lovely view.
Wonderful. In summertime, you know, it gets the sun all day.
I love that stone.
You can't beat the black marble. On Resurrection Day, you know, it'll be that way.
Praise to the soul of Miriam Seymour, beloved wife and Walter, who passed away December 22nd, 1933, aged 27 years.
Sorry, obviously, Mary.
No, dear, I'm very glad I'm happy. Well, that's what I'm doing with the last there. Should have been some. Here's the daddy.
Thank you. Oh, I think that's me. Just a David.
It's a funny old name, isn't it?
Oh, his nickname, you see, he's always looking at. He's pretty fond of the ladies. Any person, man?
Oh, well, they're very in politics.
Politics? I'm probably good as ever comes into religion. Just go traffic. That's United.
You and your playing football.
Listen, if you think I'm fanatic, let me leave first. You know United with the championship? You take it all from his arms, and he's like, straight to the right, yeah. Oh, then, last but not least, the man with the golden gullet, Phil Parkinson, champion day. I couldn't help overhearing you.
Is your name Leslie?
Yes. Got some messages for you on this doctor.
Different David. He said he can't come because he's got to look after the kids.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Oh, well, it's a little up to you then, isn't it?
And then someone called Bert rang from Southampton.
He can't come on.
Very good game. What Manchester City?
Yes, he's not. Yeah, well, still got Phil, there you go.
Oh, Cyril Parkinson.
Don't tell me. Taking the place.
Well, he could be right. He's in the Salvation Army.
How is bloody know you?
Yeah, right over Norman and then Westall.
Oh, that would be nice.
Leave.
And they call this grocery.
The 47. The house is on the floor.
Ah, poor old water. Never mind. Have a word with the council here. They might put you up a flat. You know, Walter Bingley lives here. How's that suit you?
Nothing.
I told him it was two.
He's got no consideration at all.
He's too hard on me.
Listen, you're retaining for it. You're retaining already. He's come after run his business. He can move up my fault with a house. He's never stopped telling me how marvellous it is in London. There's a damn market down there. Why don't you stay there?
What can you do now, sir? Well, you know, I mean, you think that's college state, really college, well, they're getting on. You've got to make allowances.
Allowances? For what? For what? You come in? No, we've just got back.
I'm going to the hospital.
So, me and Amy have decided that we'll be getting back today. I thought I wanted to hear anything from you.
Yeah, well, we changed our mind.
Oh, nothing specific.
No, we're not sure, but positive.
Well, nice.
I'll just pay that at you.
Why?
I thought you was the one that we spoke his mind. No. Why didn't you tell him? Well, he deserved a bit of trouble, didn't he? After the way that he was talking about you.
It's not his fault.
Are you told us on these shorties?
No, I was much to blame as he Ada. I was never there, but it mattered. When his mother died, I plunged myself into that world. He was brought up by his family. I came home at night, he was in bed. When I went out first thing in the morning, he wasn't awake. But we only got together on Sunday. I feel somehow I let him down.
But you can't blame yourself for that, surely. It was circumstance.
Yes, there's never been a fault on the block. I think the word. The only son. You know, it's strange.
Look, why are you telling me all this? You should be telling Albert.
You are
Why don't you tell him you love him?
laughing.
Well, you do, don't you?
Yeah, now stop telling him that. No, we have our own way of going on. You know, leave it as it is.
Yeah, and a damn silly way it is too.
Won't say any more. I'll go upstairs and pack.
Albert,
Yeah?
come here a minute.
Yeah?
Do you realise he heard what you said? You have now upset him.
I didn't mean it. Hey. Oh, me and my dad. We never seem to, you know. I sometimes feel, you know, I'm disappointed in him somehow. Still, not his fault really, you know. I mean, I never saw him when I was a kid. I used to try and stay awake, you know, waiting for him coming home from work. Listen to trams. Always hoping to be on there on the next one, you know. I was usually fast asleep by the time I landed home. There's no one like your dad.
Well, if you are a couple, a Yorkshire pudding.
Hey, what did you do?
What someone should have done years ago, not your silly heads together.
Hey,
No,
hang on.
you ain't on for a change. You'll do as you're told for once. Don't forget you've got a mother now. Where I come from, we're not ashamed of showing our feelings.
Helen, what's up, Taylor?
You too. You're like a couple of kids. You're not like grown-up men at all. You spend your life thinking the world of him. He spends his life thinking the world of you. And neither of you ever bloody tell each other. Oh.
She's right, you know. Well, what do you say, son? Shall we start afresh? I'd like to. So,
Nearly there for a cup of tea.
come on, sit down.
Come on, Annie.
Well, you- What a bloody disaster. First we got a phone call from the Crabes saying she'll be staying there next week. Then she phones up 2 hours later and says that she wants to meet us at the station. All changed. We're at the Reds as city supporter. Turn the grapes into a pub's paradise. And what's it do to a chip shop? Turn it into a Chinese takeaway.
your thoughts on a chip potty? Can't make a chip potty, I'll make three on. We could have stayed there a lot longer, but I decided to come home.
Home? I thought your hand was in Yorkshire, where you was born.
I learned a few things this weekend. You can't go on living in that. My home's down here with you.
Oh, well, all right then, let's all go home.
Okay, brilliant.
This is an urgent appeal from Trussell.
The emergencies we're responding to don't come with sirens or flashing lights. They come with panic about unpaid bills, questions like can I afford to put the oven on, and sleepless nights worrying how you'll feed your children. Every day, all across the UK, in food banks like mine, we're seeing people that are forced to go without the essentials that we all need. This is an emergency, but with your help, we can end it.
Please call 0800 508 8703. Text KID to 785 or search Trussell to give £10 to support our work today. By giving £10 now, you can help support a family who's going without food. Get practical advice to people who need a taste of challenges by help, and ensure no longer you have to feel alone in their hardest moments. Together, we can stop these emergencies from ever happening.
So please, pick up the phone and donate to help somebody who's facing an emergency today. Thank you.
Fixing the wall? Poor pet. Just shows you never know what's going to happen, which reminds me, I need to protect the lives of the birds in case anything happens to me. Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
Okay, you can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000 depending on your age. If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions, all done over the phone for instant peace of mind and protection for your family. And we know family life doesn't wait. So as part of our Smart Family Guarantee, your loved ones are protected from day one.
Sounds great. And you could help my husband with the mortgage. I'll go ahead.
For even more family protection, you can add cover for your children or critical illness. Plus, you'll also get your choice of £125 gift card.
Protect the life you built the smart way. To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 458 6908 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
When someone leaves us a gift in their will, it's incredible.
It means the RSPCA can always be here to rescue animals and to help stop the suffering. The cruelty that we see can be really shocking.
But because amazing people left us gifts in their will, we can protect animals, give them new lives, and keep more animals safe from harm in the future.
If you want to make sure animals are protected always, a gift in your will can help the RSPCA rescue and care for them in the years to come.
Gifts and wills fund more than half of our work. They ensure we can be here no matter what challenges the future holds.
Call now on 0800 022 3221 and we'll send you a free guide explaining how you can leave the RSPCA a gift in your will.
You can help us protect animals, always.
Because the future that's kinder to animals can be the legacy that you start today.
At Amazon, we offer term time working for our employees. So when they're on school break, you can take one too.
Let's play Win a Million. How many chances do you get to win £1 million every week?
5 chances.
drawing faces on the edge?
Well, the ones with the legs going down the soft ones, the ones with a little smile are a bit firmer, and the ones with a big smile are the hard ones.
Put me down for hopeful green.
Oh, that wasn't bad last night.
That's your fault. You rolled over to form breakfast.
Hey, guys, hey, Tom.
This, between you and me, that despite any rumors you may have heard the company, all my life I have slept alone. Apart from Wilfred.
Who's Wilfred?
My teddy bear.
But don't you think it's nice to have someone to chat to? Then these cats have to close up together to keep warm.
It doesn't work if you pinch the blanket.
Just tuck them back again. That's after phone.
I won't have got the other half.
I used to have terrible tussles with the last chef. You were a quiet lad like you.
Lad. Oh, I've heard that for a long time.
I used to bring him out of himself with a pillow fight.
That's a good time with people, don't you?
You never know when you can until you knock at the door.
Well, people have knocked, but my mother's always answered. Not what you think.
Not just what I think, we all think together.
Well, it's like north in the country. It wakes me up.
Mrs. Stubbs in a terrible state that going to court now.
I really have to give up. I'd never have let Mrs. Slocum move that gypsy horse and car for her.
I don't understand what makes the others fault.
Every time they look round, so was driving.
Morning, Captain Peacock. You look very cold. You was a normal for dress matters.
I'm a key witness in the case of the Crown versus Mrs. Slocum.
Blimey. Trickiest bird.
Have a sit down, Mrs. Slocum. I've just made a pot of tea. It's only a country court, you know, Mrs. Slocum. It's not Nuremberg.
Oh, so humiliating. It's the first time I've been in court.
What about that time he was legless in Benidorm? He knocked that policeman's hat off, fired his pistol in the air and shouted out, fresh out the bird.
Glencoe was very unpopular at the time. I was merely expressing the will of the people.
Do you like smart, Captain Peacock? You make a right stir in the court. You only get drunks as a rule, or dads for sheep worrying. He happens that he worries them quite a lot all the same.
Good morning. Don't get up. I have some good news. Mrs. Paul. Mr. Grace's family solicitors have agreed to conduct the case on our behalf.
Who they appointed?
Mr. Paul.
I would have thought a local man was better qualified.
I decided the bench would be more impressed by a London firm.
The whole thing's ridiculous. The case will be thrown out in 2 minutes. It should never have been brought. Sorry to barge in when you got your snouts in the trough. Have you seen the papers? You lost front page headline news.
Pensioner who rumpus over stolen car.
They must be referring to that gypsy. Do they mention me?
Yes, you're the pensioner.
You had your photo took. He snapped you on the cart pass at the post office.
Is it a good likeness?
It's good of your bloomers.
Oh, well, isn't it melodious?
Nobody, Mrs. Slocum, they can't see your face.
Could be anybody's bloomers.
It says here, Mrs. E. Slocum of Millstone Manor was yesterday arrested and charged with taking away a totter's cart without consent and driving it in a dangerous manner. Mrs. Slocum refused to give her age, but the Mercury reporter recovered her bus pass from the floor of the stand. When charged, she replied, "It was an accident and I am unanimous in that." A witness called
in this sprint.
Said he had warned her against taking the car, but she had ignored his advice.
I shouldn't have given it a time. I said that I advised caution when moving the car, but you didn't take any notice.
This is trial by media. We should complain to the press council.
Will you be up before Sir Robert? He's ever so strict, but he's fair. He's master of the box ends. I don't suppose he'll let the fact that your cat ruined the other tell against you. Doesn't anyone answer the phone around here?
You didn't hear it ring.
I was having a bath. I had to climb out. I'm all wet.
Very charming you look too.
Did anyone order a taxi?
Yes, I did.
Well, it's not coming. Apparently, the big end's gone.
That's very scary.
Well, how are we going to get to the court? I suppose I could ferry you one by one on my motorcycle if it's any help. My dad's got a market this morning. He can give you a lift.
What time's he leaving?
In about 10 minutes. I'll tell him to wait here in the yard.
Well, I, for one, will be only too pleased to take advantage of your kind offer this summer.
I'll get into my letters. Have you got any?
No, I'll go as I am. Where shall I meet you?
Behind the bike shed.
Happy days.
No.
No. I've always been a keen follower of the sport.
That hat won't do, I'm afraid.
Of course not. What's it?
Now hold me firmly. Keep your body relaxed. Don't stiffen up. Well, stand up and have a run round to give you a chance to get the feel of it. Rise down. Here we go. Captain Peacock, you can let go now. Are you still in there? I told you not to stiffen up.
On second thoughts, this love like that. I think I'll take your alternative.
He had trouble getting it going.
Well, I'm not bringing that for a start, and I am unanimous in that.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I had to use the handle and the appliance slipped.
Is there anything we can do?
Nah, Dr. said it's best left alone. Let's get on sourboard.
I tell you to keep a civil tongue in your head, Mr. Wilson.
Daddy's the one who takes market.
Oh, give me a hand with the big lips.
Right, you lot stand this side of the wire, and I'll hand them to you. Stand mustn't lift every way.
He must be adjusting his appliance.
Now then, come on. Oh, Francis, travelling with pigs. Well, anything's better than the fake saloon guy.
I thought you were traveling by motorcycle.
I gave up my seat to Mr. Rumbo. Where's the car?
This is it.
All aboard! I do this under protest. What's that noise?
That's the pig. That's taking him to market.
I wouldn't sit down if I were you.
Hold on! We're off!
Why, Mr. Redford? You don't want you straining yourself? Bye! Good luck!
You know, this puts me in mind of A Tale of Two Cities. The aristocrats were being taken as a tumbler to be Madame Guillotine.
Yes, because it's Honky Wednesday and all.
And the pigs!
They're enjoying the journey. Better relax.
There's a new way to save with Little Plans. You can now collect points that you can turn into possibilities. Hundreds of possibilities. Some seriously juicy ones too. So now with Little Plus, collect and spend points on all sorts of rewards or money off coupons. Little, more to value.
Being a grandparent changes everything. And now I'm retiring, I want to spend less time worrying about the numbers and more time with my grandkids. So I'm doing something about it.
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote.
No problem. Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a guaranteed cash payout up to £10,000 when you pass away. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted, and it can all be done over the phone in a matter of minutes. Prices start from just £4.52 a month for £1,000 of cover.
And that money could help with funeral costs or even as a gift to the grandkids. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
That's amazing.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free quote today, call our UK team on 0800 458 6951 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
Please, can you send someone out? The poor thing is so skinny, I don't think he can walk. The poor thing. This is awful.
Okay, let me take your address.
Today, the RSPCA will answer over 2,000 calls about animal cruelty and neglect.
Unacceptable.
Today, we will need to take over 100 animals into our care. Today, we urgently need your help to save them. Please call 0800 121 4228. Every minute of every day, animals are suffering heartbreaking cruelty and neglect. A gift of just £2 a month will help us do even. Neglect. Help us save them.
No thanks.
He's just been left tied up, I think. Poor thing's got no hair on it. He's in a terrible state.
You're sufficiently aware of the fact that casual words designed to cause distress actually involve criminality.
We also understand that the government is set to introduce new legislation which could see people convicted of anti-Semitic hate crimes orchestrated by Tehran face up to 14 years in prison. This is after suspicions were raised that Iranian state actors could be in part to blame for the uplift in anti-Semitic attacks, anti-Semitic hate crimes. Sky Mix, sponsored by the Ocean Credit Card.
Rattle up, please.
Here for all life's questions. Please.
Mr. Q. And Mr. Q Bingo, we tell it how it is. When players win, they love.
We closing in on a deal. We'll get reaction from a former UK diplomat. Harrison and Byrne are
Hello.
to protect the official royal
Hi everybody. Slap bitches ho.
A stunning tribute to the world's very first prepaid postage stamp. On the 6th of May 1840, the penny black changed communication forever, introducing a revolutionary new way to send mail. Now, Royal Mail has issued this finely crafted ink, recreating the legendary penny black in exquisite detail. Struck to the exact original dimension, it captures every historic feature of the classic design in luxurious 24-karat gold paper. The inlet next features the famous crown watermark, a celebrated security feature of the original penny black, presented in an individually numbered A5 pack, complete with protective sleeve and informative insert. This beautiful collectible is the perfect keepsake for anyone who appreciates Britain's extraordinary contribution to global communications. For the release price of just £29.99, it can be yours post-free and with an addition limit of just 10,000, demand is expected to be strong. So don't miss out. Call now free on 0800 011 2789 to reserve your official Royal Mail penny black 24-karat gold-plated ink. Harrison and Byrne, where history meets your hands. Call 0800 011 2789 today and claim your piece of philatelic history.
I started this brand because I started being told no. No to my dreams.
I didn't have any design experience. I didn't have any business experience. I really had a good belief.
Running a business is really challenging, but I love it. This is so wild that I actually, from a dream, started a business. Where to from here? This is super surrounding.
We finished that.
Eastside Golf overpowered by Shopify.
Who can hold their hand
Golf is the worst sport I've ever in the world.
when it matters most? The PGA Championship, live on Sky Sports.
Hello, hello, hello. What's that some fun? Taking it all in.
Black man in gate one? Not good.
You love it.
I don't love it.
Under that, now that can be the next big TV hit.
You don't have to deal with any like this thing written by AI.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to get them all, so I'll give you the time. Look like DP, but I'm going over.
Funny, check.
Go on.
Let go. No, let go.
This is how the power of performance can fill a cinema screen like a landscape. It's a celebration of the cinematic revolution.
Let's take a few moments to return you to the report of progress and the possibility of a peace deal between the US and Iran. As a result, oil prices falling the last few hours, dipping below $100 a barrel, now $97.99 a barrel for Brent crude, a fall of 10.8% on yesterday's figure, and that fall is ever so slightly increasing as the minutes pass by. Joined now by former UK ambassador to Iran, Nicholas Hopkins. Nicholas, good to see you. Appreciate you sharing the time. What are you making of today's developments?
Well, I think, first of all, this is positive and it is long overdue. It looks like we are entering the end game of this unnecessary war, and that the US and Iran are edging towards at least the basis for talks to rejoin again. And credit must go to Pakistan and other countries that have been playing a role behind the scenes to make this possible through their mediation. I think, as the oil market and other indications suggest, the world will see this in a positive way, and it does offer the President of the United States an off-ramp, which he's been looking for some time, and comes on the back, of course, of suspending, pausing Project Freedom, which this effort to get ships
What could a potential deal look like, do you think?
The shape of an eventual deal is fairly clear to those who've been involved watching this for some time. On the US side, there will have to be acceptance that the Islamic Republic continues to exist in its present form, and that is a pretty unpalatable reality, of course. And they will have to give guarantees, I imagine, the Iranians will demand this, that Israel and the United States will not attack Iran again, unprovoked as they would see it, in the middle of negotiations, something that's happened twice in the last year. I think the United States will also have to accept that probably some new mechanism will be required to control the Strait of Hormuz, because Iran has de facto taken control of the strait since the beginning of this war. And on the Iranian side, they will have to accept, which I think they have shown they would be ready to do, that they will not ever have a nuclear weapon, and that they even give up the right to enrich for civilian purposes uranium above 3.67%, which of course was the level they were allowed to do during the last deal between the US and Iran, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. So compromises are needed on both sides, and it will be a very difficult negotiation.
One of the drivers for getting to this, the two sides are realistic in the fact that they cannot really ultimately see military success, either Iran holding off long term or equally the United States achieving its goals without going in particularly heavy-handedly? Or is it the economics here that ultimately the world and the US and Iran wants to and needs to make money and needs to see fuel flowing again?
Well, I think it's all of those, in fact. Clearly, we've seen that there is no military solution to this conflict without a full-scale invasion of Iran by the United States, which would not only be a mistake, given historical precedents in Iraq and elsewhere, but also is still would tangle the United States up in a war for a very long time with no certain outcome. And on the pressure on the Iranians, of course, is on their economy due to the heavy sanctions and the blockade the US has imposed on their ports. So I think with the US midterms also coming up in November, the president will be very conscious that the sooner he gets a reasonable outcome to this conflict, the better. And obviously that will have a positive effect on the damage that's being done to the global economy by the blockades in the Strait of Hormuz.
Fascinating stuff. Nicholas, really appreciate your insights there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Turning our attention to politics here in the UK, the Conservative leader Kerry Baylock says her party is willing to work with anyone who will help deliver Conservative policies, but has now ruled out any form of coalition with Reform. We're speaking with our Deputy Political Editor, Sam Coates, for the latest in our series of interviews with party leaders, all ahead of tomorrow's local elections.
So you're sure I don't need a...
One last stop outside London before the election.
Not perfect. There's still a bit there.
The West Midlands, a swing region, and the polls suggest they're swinging Reform.
Many people feel that life is not fair. We want to bring some fairness back. I think that's a message that will really resonate here in the West Midlands.
The Tory leader sat down with me to assess the first 90 months she spent in the job. Clear from the outset, there's a long way to go.
Henry Baylock, welcome to the scrap heap, as it looks like. Do you think the elections on Thursday will allow you, as Tory leader, to be able to claim that you've made progress? And if so, which bits of the country should we look to?
Yes, what people are seeing is a new Conservative Party under a new leader, and I am changing things. People like our policies. They're very popular up and down the country. What we need to really focus on now is winning trust.
You have jumped in that answer, but I listened too hard away from the results on the early hours of Friday morning. And you confirm that because if you look at them, they could look like things are getting worse compared to the moment that you were elected.
Because the world that we're in is changing. People are retreating into tribes. We're seeing a lot of fragmentation across the board. But if you compare the results next Thursday with last year, you will see that progress is being made.
I mean, I have heard people talk about multi-party politics for the better part of 2 decades. It tends to be the people who are doing less well rather than better who throw in multi-party politics as a...
Well, except it's the reality. I mean, you only just need to look at what is happening. It is multi-party politics. No one can deny that.
Expectation management in full swing.
She wants us to compare the results to last year, not the general election, the year she entered the job.
Local election results and general election results don't necessarily tally. What or marry up. What is important is, are we making progress versus how people view the Conservative Party last year, year on year. I want to see us moving forward. We will have some good results.
She says she's changed the party, but with Tory councils putting up tax and blocking planning decisions, has it really changed that much? 30 of the 35 Tory-led councils put up council tax by the maximum needed without a referendum. Pretty much identical in proportion to other parties. Being a lower tax party is something that the Tories have said since years ago. Just still, as a party, don't deliver it.
Well, one of the things that we need to recognise is that many councils get their money from the government. You look at the rural payments grant, Labour has changed this to favour urban areas. That's one of the reasons why Conservative councils, which are quite often in rural areas, are having to do things differently. But you look at the services they provide, they're still delivering more compared to other councils. I'm not saying Conservative councils are perfect, I'm not saying they don't do anything wrong, but across the board, you can rely on them.
The national message is growth. But what's her view on Tory councils saying no? We took a great game on growth. We've done a lot of research into growth and things that are holding back this country, and particularly the councils that block planning applications known as unreasonably when it goes to appeal. 7 of the top 10 councils that paid out the most for unreasonable decisions, for blockages that shouldn't have happened, were Tory councils. 181 cases of unreasonable planning decisions amongst the 7 top Tory councils. Tory councils are NIMBY councils. Isn't that the reality?
No, I don't think so. What I also know is that most people are now very resentful of a lot of infrastructure because they think that things are imposed on their communities. You look at London. London building has fallen by about 80%. This is one of the things that's going wrong, and then lots of other areas are having to pick up the burden.
The Tories would allow their local councils to do deals with reform if it advances a Conservative agenda. This, the biggest difference with the other main parties. Local level, you've been very clear that this is up to local leaders to make the best decisions for what happens if there's a minority arrangement to make the council or the parliament leader. So in theory, a vote on Thursday could mean Tories propping up a reform-led administration somewhere. Now, that's a big difference. If it's the Greens, the Lib Dems, Labour, all nationalist parties, they all say they wouldn't do that, but the Tories would. You accept that that's a big difference in terms of access to reform?
So we have a test case. Last year, we had lots of elections where reform won many councils. How many of them are being run with Conservatives? 0. So we have proof. We are willing to work with people who will help deliver Conservative policies.
High spirits at her last election rally. This attests to the electorate and party morale. The shadow over this party, how to deal with Nigel Farage. Sam Coates, Sky News, Solihull.
Breaking footage to bring you. This is the president of the Canary Islands, Fernando Clavia, speaking in Brussels, reacting to the news that the European Union and the World Health Organization have between them agreed that the MV-100, the cruise ship that is at the centre of the hantavirus outbreak, could make its way to the Canary Islands. It's currently moored off the coast of Cape Verde, and it was expected that a 3 to 4 day journey would take the vessel to the Canary Islands. Well, the president of the Canary Islands has said that he opposes the Spanish government's plan to let the ship dock at the islands. He said that he has requested an urgent meeting with the Prime Minister of Spain, Pedro Sanchez, posting on X a short while ago, around 3 hours ago, Fernando Clavia, saying that he had requested a meeting with President Sanchez due to the lack of coordination and information regarding the cruise ship affected by the hantavirus outbreak. The Canaries acts with responsibility, but I cannot accept decisions taken behind the backs of the Canary Islands institutions and without sufficient information to the population. This comes as the World Health Organization says that there is a low risk of human-to-human transmission of the hantavirus, but that nonetheless, they expect that there has been some human-to-human transmission of those on board the boat. We know that there are 8 cases, 3 confirmed, the rest suspected. The latest has been registered in Zurich. Europe in a medical facility there. Meanwhile, around the boat itself, off the coast of Cape Verde, just off the coast of the Cape Verde capital, we know from the World Health Organization and from the Dutch authorities that 3 individuals have recently, in the last hour and a half, been medically evacuated from the vessel. It was 1 Dutch, 1 British, and 1 German national. They're expected to be transferred to a medical plane for further treatment. Just getting some comments saying that the Canary Islands leader is saying the hantavirus cruise ship has requested to dock at Tenerife on Saturday. The hantavirus cruise ship has requested to dock at Tenerife on Saturday. There have been prior hopes that it would dock in the next few days. That had been initially blocked by the president of the Canary Islands, saying that they did not have enough details from the Spanish authorities. He's saying that he doesn't know what's emerged from a meeting, but the conclusions, he says, he'll know soon, and there'll be a press conference. There's been a request, like I say, that apparently is being studied, and says that the islands will respect the information being provided to them at the moment. But it seems as though there's been a meeting at higher levels, one would assume, between the Spanish government and also between potentially the European Union and the World Health Organization. And this is reaction from the Spanish Islands president, who's speaking live right now. He's saying he doesn't know what's emerged from that meeting, but he'll know that there is a press conference very soon. It all comes as there's around 140 individuals still on board the cruise ship. They range from around 14 or so different nationalities. This is a ship that began its journey from Ushuaia off the eastern Argentine coast and then made its way through the Antarctic waters, moving up then through the Atlantic into places like Ascension Island and St. Helena, and then ultimately this outbreak taking place and occurring. You can see there individuals on the deck of the ship. I can't tell you who those are. We have been hearing that the operators of that cruise ship have asked people to remain in their cabins. We had seen pretty deserted decks on board in previous imagery. The only people we've seen out and about were those medical officials from the World Health Organization who were responding to that outbreak. They were dressed in personal protective equipment and were responding to that. So quite who they are is unclear. It just appears as though that press conference by the president of the Canary Islands has finished. Further comments from him, we will bring them to you. But whilst watching that, let me also bring you some breaking news from the United States. Well, this is breaking news from the United States and the president posting on Truth Social, writing the following: assuming Iran agrees to give what has been agreed to, which is perhaps a big assumption, the already legendary epic fury will be at an end, and a highly effective blockade will allow the Hormuz Strait to be open to all, including Iran. If they don't agree, the bombing starts, and it will be, sadly, at a much higher level and intensity than it was before. Thank you for your attention, Donald Trump. So, Donald Trump posting 2 minutes ago at just 1:45 UK time, so early morning in eastern United States, assuming Iran agrees to give what has been agreed to, which is perhaps a big assumption, the already legendary epic fury will be at an end, and the highly effective blockade will allow the Hormuz Strait to be open to all, including Iran. If they don't agree, then the bombing starts, and it will be, sadly, at a much higher level and intensity than it was before. The challenge here is to tell you exactly what might have been agreed to. The 2 key sticking points from both sides. From the United States is the nuclear material inside Iran. From Iran, it is the reopening of its economy to the wider world and the reduction of sanctions. There are other issues at play as well. Iran's ballistic missile capacity, Iran's work with proxy allies in the wider region, Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis in Yemen. There are other issues it will take challenge with. It will want to have great control of the Strait, and President Trump wants to see a weakened operation and leadership within Tehran itself. But the big ones will be nuclear material and also the reopening of Iran's economy to the wider world and the reduction, if not complete removal, of US sanctions and the unfreezing of Iranian assets. If that is what the president is referring to, they will be the big asks that are on the table. But we are unclear clear here at Sky News, as is the rest of the wider global media, as to the exact specifics. Both Reuters and the Axios news agencies and sites reporting that there is work on a one-page agreement at the moment. They are citing sources, Reuters citing a Pakistani source, Pakistan playing a vital role in mediating between the two nations. They had held talks in Islamabad, but they ultimately had failed to produce any conclusive outcomes. But Pakistan working nonetheless to try and bring about some cessation in hostilities and ultimately an end to the conflict. We'll bring more details on this and more analysis with Tara Kangali after the break.
A lot of local and national seats are up for grabs.
Waiting for a people's vote on who will sit in them. It's your choice to have a say on who has a seat at the table. Follow Sky News as we give you the best seats in the House.
From voting
The results, the analysis, and what comes next. Join us for Vote 26. Get the full story fast on Sky News.
Antonio Papano and the London Symphony Orchestra are searching for their next conductor.
It's such a pleasure to be here.
Hundreds apply, but only one can win Europe's premier conducting competition.
When this competition would be life-changing.
I think I'm not going to do too many actors with.
We're in show business. A life-changing moment hangs at the tip of a baton.
You're out of time. Thank you very much.
Making a Maestro tonight at 8 on Sky Arts.
Making it beautiful and traditional butler for M&S for decades, but now you've taken it slightly less traditional. Anything developed in your kitchen.
Yes, I spend hour after hour and create recipe after recipe. They're upscale and through various made by our fantastic team. I'm out of chef. This is the new cowboy butter.
Oh, yeah. That's like the ultimate cooking hack. We need good stuff.
Today we're not going to be funny.
No change there then.
Saving for your first home can feel almost impossible.
And the road to owning can be a bumpy one.
That's why Santander are first-time buyer mortgages with deposit starting from just $10,000.
That was a great celebration. Dad would have loved it. He hated how expensive traditional funerals are. So he got a pure cremation funeral plan. He wanted his money to go to us, not funeral expenses. It was much more affordable, and it gave him peace of mind knowing it was all sorted, and we wouldn't have to arrange pure cremation because it's the best-selling funeral plan in Britain. It was a proper, dignified cremation. They were so respectful. Pure have their own beautiful crematorium, and they hand-delivered his ashes in an urn and stayed for a cup of tea and a chat. Then we used some of the money he saved to remember him our way. Thanks, Dad. You always did sort everything.
For your free quote, search Pure Cremation online or call us free today. Take out a plan and you'll get one.
Let's return to the breaking news now. Truth Social post from President Trump. Let's just show you what he's had to say, and we'll get analysis with Tara in a few seconds. Assuming Iran agrees to give what has been agreed to, which is perhaps a big assumption, the already legendary epic fury will be at an end, and the highly effective blockade will allow the Hormuz Strait to be open to all, including Iran. If they don't agree, the bombing starts, and it will be, sadly, at a much higher level and intensity than it was before signing President Trump. So, Tara, what's been agreed to? What's on your...
A fast-moving story today on this Wednesday morning, Gareth. And to that point, by the way, the IRGC in Iran has issued a statement saying that safe, stable passage via Hormuz will be granted if, of course, U.S. threats are neutralized. And they're arguing that ships who want to cross, vessels who want to pass, they need to get permission from us. And interestingly enough, again, according to IRGC, they have put in place this website, Persian Gulf Strait Authority, and they're asking everyone to send them an email, and we will grant you passage. So a lot of moving parts, but reading that social media post and also reading into what the IRGC just said,
once again, Gareth, both sides, the United States and Iran, want to project that they have the upper hand and they're controlling the narrative over the Strait of Hormuz that over 2 months ago was not even part of this war and discussion and what was going on between Iran and the United States.
And all of this is seemingly being mediated and supported by the Pakistanis still and the Saudis to a lesser extent. And it's indicative of the fact that, you know, Pakistan has about 800 miles so long border with Iran. The Saudis are crucial in the region. They want to get that oil out. But this is not just a two-horse race or two-person sided issue. This brings in so much of the region and ultimately the wider world. We're seeing the markets react to that. Where do the other players in the region sit into this mosaic of decision making?
First of all, none of the countries in the region are engaging in diplomatic efforts out of their goodwill. They have vested interest in the outcome of this conflict. As you mentioned, Pakistan, of course, shares a large border with Iran, with mind you that 90% of its energy crosses through the Strait of Hormuz. So it's very much eyeing at that. Also, we should not forget the relationship between Pakistan and Saudi Arabia that has long financially.